Well, hello there, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are here for a new pick card reading. Today we're taking a look at your career, and more specifically, what exciting things, what blessings, what good news can we be looking forward when it comes to your career. I'm specifically investigating in what unexpected good things we can be seeing into looking for. So yeah, if that's something you're curious about, if it's something you're interested in, please make yourself at home, grab a seat, make yourself comfortable. And while you're at it, please like and subscribe. So that would support me a lot. That being said, let's get right into it now. Okay, so we have 4 groups in front of us today to be choosing from. As always, with any pick a card reading, I'm going to be asking you to tune into your intuition, take your time, tune in, pause the video if you need to really tune into your intuition so as to feel into which pile you feel the most drawn to. All piles in the plural too, knowing that whichever pile you feel the most drawn to is going to be the one holding the messages for you that you're meant to be hearing right now at this moment. If you're feeling drawn to more than one pile, may simply mean that there are more messages for you to be hearing. That being said, here we have pile number 1 with the Pyrite, pile number 2 with the Labradorite, pile number 3 with the red Jasper, and pile number 4 with the Lapis Lazuli. So yeah, again, take your time. If you need more time, pause the video so as to tune into whichever file you feel the most called to. Once you have made your choice, you can fast forward directly to the timestamps, which I'll be providing down below, either in the comment section, the pinned comment, or the description box, so that you can fast forward directly to your reading with the timestamps, and I'm going to be seeing you there. Hey pal number 1, how are you doing? Welcome to the reading. I'm glad you're here. If pal number 1, if you chose the Pyrite, that's going to be your reading, and so we're going to get right into it now. I'll be putting it here. There you go. Okay, so we're going to start with the tarot cards as always, so as to know what can pile number 1 be expecting in the realm of their career. I hope you're doing great, pile number 1, by the way. This one wants to pop up. Ooh, interesting. Feels like there's some sort of decision that you've been thinking about. Just one last card. No, actually we're going for 6 today. Okay. 3 more cards in spirit. Oof. It's gonna be 4. Sure. Got plenty of cards. So what do we have here? We got the High Priestess, the Queen of Cups, it's the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups, the Page of Swords, as well as the Ace of Wands. Okay, so first thing first, the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups, they both refer to like they call forth for intuition, sensitivity. It feels like there's been a choice, something that's been bugging your mind. You're wanting to make the choice within your career. It could be a choice about changing career to move on to something else. It could also be like simply like taking a major decision within the context of your career. Could be like within your like relative to your place with your colleagues, or I'm hearing for some it deals with the structure. If you're like owning your business, maybe you've been thinking about taking a decision when it comes to where the company is going, or just the very structure of, yeah, as I said, like the structure of what is currently going on. And it feels like you've been wondering on one end, like on one hand, making the most sensible decision, the one that doesn't really necessarily feel all that exciting, but that which the mind tells you is the right thing to do. You know, is the right thing, but it doesn't feel very exciting. And the other end, it's like, it's a bit like the heart, the intuition calling for a leap of faith. That's what I'm hearing, which is very interesting. The High Priestess, both the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups are screaming to me like the fact that you already know the answer. You seem to be looking out for answers, as in because you may be scared of making the wrong decision. You may have been a bit in this time of like you trying to gather as much information as possible in your environment so as to try to reassure yourself that whichever decision you end up taking will be the best. And I just feel like it's time for you to be honest with yourself. Whichever decision you are taking will be the best. Straight up. There's an invitation to not be so hard on yourself. Really, it's like, yeah, there's so much pressure, as in you need to do the right thing. You seemingly need, yeah, I don't really have the words for it, but it just feels like so much pressure that you're putting onto yourself so as to, because you have to make the right decision. And it's just like at the end of the day, you will not know what the right decision is before you take it. And secondly, you will also realize that whichever decision you take, there will be tremendous growth as a result. It's like, why are you concerned with making the right decision when the right decision is the one you'll eventually make anyways? I just had a ringing in my ear. So that's confirmation. It's like, why are you even bothering pondering about what is the right decision? The one you take is going to be the right decision again. So yeah, there is definitely a calling here to listen to your inner wisdom. You may not be so willing to open up to that because the mind is being a little loud, apparently. But I can tell that you already know. It's like being honest with yourself, being brutally honest with yourself. You already know what you need to do. Then do it. That's your confirmation. You've been wondering about this or that. It's like, why are you still asking these questions when you already know the answer? There is definitely a calling to be a little more assertive when it comes to your wisdom. It's like you already know. Why are you still second guessing yourself? That's one thing I'm hearing. There's pressure with the Nine of Swords. I'm definitely getting this idea that the pressure may be coming from the desire not to repeat something that you have already experienced that didn't necessarily turn out the way you wanted necessarily. Feels like in the past you have known you've gone through an experience that didn't go your way and that didn't feel pleasant, and now you're like, I want to just ensure that it's not going to happen again. And here again, it's like you already know the answer. First of all, please be honest with yourself when it comes to the fact that how the heck are you supposed to recreate something that has happened such a long time ago when you have changed? In order to recreate something that has already happened, you must not have changed. That's just, it sounds stupid when you say it out loud, but it's kind of true. It's like we repeat past patterns and past cycles when we haven't changed. You very much have changed. You can tell, like looking at this past version of yourself who has gone through this unpleasant experience and who you are today. You're not the same person. Why would you be repeating this? This fear is understandable, but it's not founded. With the Eight of Pentacles, it's funny because it genuinely feels like there's a lot of potential. Whatever choice you end up making, it's funny because the more I say it, the more stupid it sounds. It's like you already know what is the choice to make, so why are you still questioning? That's what I keep on hearing on repeat. It's like there is no choice. You're pondering between different choices. Like it's already, your soul has already made the decision. It's just a matter of time for the human mind to align with it, for the ego to shut up and just go with what we know we must do. So, and what I'm hearing is that as a result of doing that, the Eight of Pentacles, there's this energy of just creating something so much better. It's like, it seems that you're opening yourself up for what feels like a new season, a new chapter, a new momentum. Something, it's like it's something new, something which is motivating, something which is inspiring because it's just so new. There is just like this initial spark of inspiration, so to speak, and it feels very inspiring. And in doing so, we actually get to build something which is like very sustainable, very sturdy, very strong. There's also this idea of change. It's like the decision that you've been wondering, this choice that you've been pondering about is definitely coming at a point where it's needed. It feels like there's something that needs to change, something that is no longer working. That's why you've been considering these multiple different options, because it's something that needs to come to an end, basically. And in this new chapter, there's this energy of just like seeing oneself, witnessing ourselves creating something new, building up something new, like nourishing and caretaking a seed which is growing before our very eyes. And so there's a lot of satisfaction. It feels very successful, and there's so much satisfaction because we see how much work we're putting into it, because we enjoy what we're doing. There's a lot of inspiration behind it. There's a lot of, especially with the Ace of Wands. It's like, it feels new, but it feels very passionate. It feels very much like something which sparks something within us that remotivates us to go forward. So it's very optimistic, very beautiful energy here. Something that we're creating, which is sturdy, which is reliable. But it's not, I do not get the idea of like the Seven of Pentacles, which is very much like an investment in the future. Here you're seeing the results and the fruits of your labor in real time. It's like the better it gets, the better it gets. As you are working and investing and caretaking and nurturing this out of passion, you see how much is growing before your very eyes, and you see how much beauty and abundance it's making its way into your life and flowing all around you. It's something like very much in real time you're seeing. And so there's so much satisfaction, because it's not like I'm working and hopefully in the future it's gonna do something for me. It's like, no. The opposite. It's like we're working, and the more we do and the more we see how it's working. There's back and forth, which is very quick. And so I feel a lot of satisfaction, honestly. That much more motivation. It's like a snowball effect. It started, the decision feels a little hard, but as soon as we dedicate ourselves to it and we fully go with it and we say no more, I'm done like being in uncertainty, I choose this. And even if it happens at the end, like later down the road, to be the wrong choice, whatever wrong means to your mind, by the way, I just trust that the universe will be redirecting me. If it's the wrong choice, I trust myself that it will make itself obvious and I'll course correct, okay? But once that choice is made, it's just like a snowball effect of positivity, where it feels like a lot of work is put into it, but it feels so passionate that it doesn't really feel like work. And again, it's like we just see it's so much more motivation comes out the fact that we're seeing the fruits of our labors in real time. So it's so beautiful. Another thing, the Five of Cups, it's very interesting. By the way, let me drink a little more. Five of Cups is indicating me that this, especially with the Ace of Wands, which deals with passion, something new, something passionate, something that ignites our inner fire, it kind of makes me feel this is something that you're very passionate about, that you're very inspired by, something that really moves you, something that perhaps you were a little afraid because it's out of the norm. It's like it's something new that may not have been very familiar within your environment so far. And in you, like, deciding to make this change and going with it and seeing how much it's benefiting you, benefiting the people around you, if that's relevant, how much success, quote unquote success, it feels, how successful it feels like, there's this sense of healing. It's like somehow we get to realize here that our dreams do come true, and it is worth it, and there's just something which feels that touches our vulnerable spots. It feels like, being us embarking on a bit of an uncertain journey, a bit of a vulnerable journey, because it's just based of what motivates us. It's very heart-based, but the mind is not necessarily backing it up. And the more we go forward and the more we start recognizing ourselves, because it's like, oh my god, that's what I was meant to do, it feels so much better. There's this idea of, there's a sense of homecoming. So for some of you, there's something related to your purpose, in the sense that this choice is redirecting you into something that feels very fulfilling for you, like deeply fulfilling. And there's just this releasing of just releasing old experiences, old things. It's like as the new positivity enters and floods your life, all of these bittersweet emotions, they just get purged on themselves. It's like I genuinely feel that it will not require any ounce of effort on your behalf to be letting go of these emotions. I just feel like it's happening as a byproduct. But it's worth mentioning because it just feels so beautiful, so vulnerable. It's really when you start, I see that as you see how brilliant and how successful it becomes, it just motivates you and you just start believing more and more in yourself. And so if you used to be someone who had a bit of self-doubt, that's being let go of. As a result, it's like this experience is benefiting you in so many ways, and that's so beautiful. Page of Swords, there's just this sense of, yeah, like pride. It feels new, but it feels like us. It feels like a me project. It's my thing. It's not just it doesn't feel like I'm doing this out of sacrifice because I have to, because this is what is expected of me. It very much feels like this power coming through here, something that we genuinely enjoy doing. So yeah, look at the posture. It's like very straight, very proud. That's what I'm getting here, is like there's so much pride and so much abundance and so much positivity that is really shifting many things in our life. That's why it's like, you know what the right decision is. Now that you know that, now that you have had your confirmation, go for it. Stop asking. Yes, it's scary. Go for it. But yeah, it's like so much beauty is coming as a result. So I'm so excited for you. Trust in divine details. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, it makes sense. Honestly, it makes sense. Trust in divine details. I feel that this idea and this choice that you're making for yourself is deeply ingrained in your wisdom and your knowing, but again, it feels like at this very moment it's not necessarily all that backed up, all that reflected by your environment. It feels like, for some, it feels like going against the grain, going against the flow of others. For others, it just feels like very bizarre, very new. It's like we've never seen that before. And so understandably there are doubts around it. There can be a little bit of fear creeping up. It's like, it's completely understandable. Trust in divine details is really showing me that as you surrender to this choice and that you go for it, it will make itself more and more obvious so as to why it happened. You will understand very easily, you will end up understanding, yeah, why it felt a bit of a challenge to make this choice and how freaking worth it was. And you'll start like opening your eyes up and reflecting on, like looking back, reflecting on what happened. You will start understanding much more your experience and why things went the way they did in your life, not just in the realm of your career, I'm hearing. But it's like there are a lot of things, a lot of answers, a lot of things which start making sense. Again, we touched a little bit on what feels deeply fulfilling. To some, it may very well be linked to purpose. So it's like I just see you receiving a lot of answers that start making sense of why you went through what you went through, why you are who you are. So that is very beautiful, honestly, because yeah, again, it's like such a snowball effect of positivity, but which feels also very deep and very fulfilling. It really feels peaceful at the end of the day. It's not just like we're succeeding outside and materially. It's also within that we feel so much more at peace. Truth transcends illusions. That I love. As you make this choice and go for it, very quickly you'll start seeing the fruits of the results of your labor. And what I'm seeing is like, it will become more and more obvious why this was the right thing to do. It's like there's this idea with this card too, with the dragonfly. There's this idea of just, it reminds me of the High Priestess. The High Priestess here the energy I'm getting from this card is such a powerful feminine. It's like she knows her stuff. People can, it's like, as you're entering this new phase, you may be doubting yourself a little bit. People around you may be doubting you a little bit because they have no clue of what you're creating. Very quickly, you will embrace, embody, integrate this truth of yours, which is a very powerful feminine who knows her stuff. People may have doubts around, not you. I mean, look at that. Just look at the image of the card. Can you see it well? There you go, a little better. She just doesn't give an F. It's like, that's the first thing that comes to mind here, is like, she's just vibing. Whoop, come back here. She's just vibing. And that's very much the energy I'm getting, is like, through this, through you going on this journey that feels so much more like you, you get to discover more yourself, you get to understand yourself better, and you become so much more confident. Like with the Page of Swords, it's like there's a lot of confidence, a lot of knowing. It's not just repeating positive affirmations to convince yourself that you're confident. It's just like, you know your worth. There's nothing to be discussed because it's obvious. It just makes itself obvious. So that I really, really love, honestly. It's just so beautiful. And this is what I'm hearing, is like, you're one decision away, which is very ironic when it's pretty clear that the decision has already made. It's not so much about the fact that you're one decision away, because the decision has already made. It's like, we're just waiting. I'm hearing, we're just waiting on you to surrender. It's like, how long will it take you to accept the decision that you have already made? How long will it take for you to surrender to the decision you have made? This is the only thing. This is the only thing we're waiting on, I'm hearing. So that is beautiful and very exciting, because it's like the decision has already been made somehow. So I'm very excited for you. I'm very proud of you, honestly, also, if it has felt a little like tingly, a little triggering to be making this decision. But yeah, honestly, you deserve it. You deserve it all. Thank you so much for having share space with me today, pan number 1. That was an awesome reading, to be honest. It's like a beautiful promise of light, of abundance, of love, especially within. So I'm just so happy for you. I feel there's gonna be a nice breath of fresh air for a lot of you. It's just a matter of, you already know, be bold and own the decision that you have made within now. So yeah, I'm just so happy. I'm just so excited. I'd love to know, please, down in the comments, if you could tell me if it resonated. What is this decision about? I'll be very curious now. Like, what is it? I'd love to be connecting with you. But yeah, I'm wishing you the best. Please like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed it. That would support me a lot. I'm gonna be seeing you in my next video. That being said, till then, enjoy, enjoy. That's all I have to say. It's like, enjoy, you deserve it. It's all yours. Okay, bye. Hey there, pan number 2, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great. Pan number 2, if you chose the Labradorite, that's gonna be your reading, and so we're gonna get right into it. So we're gonna start with the tarot, as always, tarot cards. So as to start, give us the overall of, ooh, I love that. Oh my god, I love that. What fun, beautiful things can we be looking forward when it comes to, I heard a blank, when it comes to your career? What can we be looking forward to? The Magician and the King of Pentacles. I mean, goddamn. Got the 3 of Wands. Okay. Someone's locked in. Let me tell you that. Then Spirit, please let us see what else. Yep, this one. Whoop. This one. Wait, some of the cards are popping up again. Okay, let me see. Taking this one, no. One last card, please, Spirit. It's this one. Okay. So we got the Magician, the King of Pentacles, which is exciting. The Three of Wands, the Nine of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Lovers, as well as the Six of Wands. We got some wands going on, definitely. Yeah, back of the deck energy, the Emperor. Okay, got the Emperor, got the Magician, we got the King of Pentacles. There's a lot of masculine energy coming through your career, which is already screaming to me the idea of like masculine perfection. Not in the sense of perfectionism. It's like the ways the mind has it to perfect something. It just feels like you're refining something. What do we have here, Spirit? You are following, well, when I start with the Three of Wands, because this one's coming more clearly, is like you seem to be locked in onto something. There's something that you've been thinking about, something that you have seen, possibly something you've already started to move towards in the, when it comes to your career. Something that you're, yeah, something that has caught your eyes and that you are moving towards. Something that you're very much like, I'm hearing like locked in. You're zoomed into this thing. You're gonna make it yours, definitely. With all of this masculine energy coming through, it's very much like the determination, the will, the shoot, what's the word? The like, yeah, perfection in a way. It's like making it perfect, ensuring that it works the best. Optimizing it. That's the word I was looking for. Optimizing. It's like this, the perfection side of the divine masculine, like making it perfect, making it powerful. Is there's a lot of power transpiring through as well. It's very much feels like you are doing what the heck you want with it. It's like you got something within your hands, you have decided you would make it happen, and so it is happening. Why? Because you have decided, because you have said it would. You have said it would happen, and so it happens. That's it. That's all. That's how we operate here, baby. The Magician really refers to this idea that you are making what the crap, like what the heck you want out of what? Out of thin air. It's like you have decided this would happen, so it's happening. Because you have set the intention, that's it. The King of Pentacles here too, like I'm getting the image of just, yeah, an emperor, a king, someone sitting in the throne just deciding what the heck they want to do, what next they want to do with their kingdom. You know, it's very much this power stance that I see you in right now. Yeah, that is beautiful. Like just you going after it and just making magic unfold along the way so as to make these beautiful things happen. I'm also hearing that what you're making is like a lot of people that are around you, they may be surprised at first at what you're birthing into reality, what you're creating, because of the fact that perhaps that's not something they thought about, because perhaps that's a bit of a too big of a dream for them to be considering. But it's just like for you, it's not, some of those people around you may be putting what you're seeking, seemingly seeking, on a pedestal. Not you. It's like, no, that's mine, that's it. There's a lot of confidence in claiming that. And the King of Pentacles in of itself like represents a very financially stable situation. It's like, it's the King of Pentacles, it's the freaking King of Pentacles, it's the one that is sitting on the throne, on the kingdom, is the one that caretakes the kingdom, is the one that is associated with a lot of prosperity. It's the very prosperous king. Is the most, one of the most prosperous cards in tarot, you know? It's like the King of Pentacles has it all when it comes to the material world. And that's definitely something you're creating. If that's not a position you identify being in right now, this is what you're creating. And that is beautiful. With the cards lower that. I'm gonna take a detour with this card first before I get distracted, because we had the idea of like people around second guessing it. And I kind of feel like it's the Nine of Swords. There's just, I'm getting this idea that perhaps in the past you may have felt a little uneasy around, a little uneasy as a whole because of the fact that you dream big. Your dreams are big, they are beautiful, they are perfect, they are expected to be big, and the universe is so glad that you dream big. But the people who have given up on their dreams, the people who feel, who try to make themselves the most comfortable possible in never reaching the stars, they get threatened when someone around them aims for the stars. And so that's kind of this idea of, yeah, there may have been people who were like second guessing you and doubting you and not necessarily be here to push you forward and be on your side just because they're like, well, that seems big. Are you sure you want to do it? Yeah, but that sounds a little unrealistic. And this, I feel like you may have been in this energy before, just guessing, second guessing yourself, as in, yes, I have these dreams, but you know what they say, things like that. There's just this energy here right now as we've entered this new year of just like a moment of realization, of clarity, where you just reach this point of, you know what? Fluff it. I'm just making it happen. That's it. It's like to just took a moment of clarity to realize, you know what? They actually don't know it. That's not my problem if they're not aiming for the stars anymore. Someone's gonna reach the moon, right? And so it's beautiful because it's like from this second guessing oneself energy, we're like in this power stance, in this powerful position where it's like people don't know if it's gonna work. Arguably, no one knows if it's gonna work. We do not live in the future. We live in the right now. But again, it's like, will it work? The answer is yes, because you have so decided. Sounds stupid, but it's true. You have set the intention, you have taken the decision of making it, of the fact that it would work, even if it ends up working in a different way that you were expecting, even if the universe ends up delivering you something way better than you had asked for, no matter, doesn't matter, it's gonna work because you have so decided. And this is like it feels like such a pivotal point that you have recently gone through, a moment of realization where it's like, you know what? No, I'm making it happen, Fluffy. I'm not letting other people's doubts and fears holding me back. They may hold themselves back with that. That's fine. That's their lives, not mine. But yeah, for some of you, I'm hearing is very, very little message, but it feels like for some of you it was a permission slip that allowed you to consider the fact that no, you're actually meant to be great. That's why you're having such big dreams. But what we have here is what I wanted to talk about earlier. It's like the Ace of Wands deals with passion. It deals with a new beginning. It deals with passion. It deals with that which we love. The Lovers, again, very passionate card. The Six of Wands, here it talks with success, talks with pride. It's like, I told you you would be successful, and we were not even at the end of the spread. There's this energy of, within the realm of your career, you have locked onto something. You have decided that you would make something happen, and it is 100% happening, and it's just making you feel so passionate. In this sense, it kind of reminds me of pile number one because we had a similar thing going on there. But I guess that's just a theme. It's like, yeah, it feels very refreshing for you to be shifting. It almost feels like shifting identity from a person who may have been doubting themselves to a person who just, you know what, makes it happen because they've just gotten rid of other people's beliefs, of the chit chat, of the external noise. It's like, no, I'm deciding, I'm setting my mind to it, I'm gonna make it happen, it's gonna be perfect as it needs to be for me, it's gonna happen. I'm locked in, you know. There's a lot of passion. There is this idea that through you pursuing this goal, first of all, I'm hearing that what will happen in the end will be much better than what you set out to reach. You set out to reach the moon, and you will actually reach the stars behind because of how far you'll go. That's what I'm hearing. But that's just because, I mean, if you're willing to let yourself win, the universe is more than happy to make you win big times. That's what I'm hearing. It's like, especially if, yeah, I feel that some of you may have been in this perspective of just this identity of, yeah, but I don't know, like second guessing oneself, and you choosing to actually go for it is just like, you know what, you deserve to succeed, honeybee. That's your time now. And there is, what I'm feeling is like, there's a big unfolding within you. There's a profound transformation through you deciding and locking in this thing. You are transforming yourself in the ways that you perceive yourself. It's your identity which is shifting. Your identity which is shifting with something which feels much better, much more suited, something which feels much more genuine, something which allows you to be much more of yourself. When we do not second guess ourselves as much, we inevitably end up expressing more of who we are. So it's like, it's a very enjoyable process, what I'm getting at. A very passionate one. The lovers, well, two messages. One is for sure that there is a lot of passion coming through it. So like you deciding to go to reach the stars is a metaphor to saying that you're reaching one of your desires, one of your dreams. So there is definitely this idea coming through of, yeah, heck yeah, you are reaching the stars. You are making something which is so close to your heart happen, which is beautiful. In doing so, you get to transform yourself profoundly. You get to discover much more about yourself. You get to be so much more proud about yourself, so much happier about yourself. You get to be so much more authentic. There's also, as a result, on the second hand, like this idea of falling more in love with ourselves, like understanding ourselves better, becoming our own lover, so to speak. Thirdly, you will meet people along the way. That's what I'm hearing. Perhaps that's not something, it's like spirit is coming through with this one, as in there are no reasons for you necessarily right now to believe, to see why you pursuing this objective would make you connect with more people. But what I'm hearing is like, it's worth mentioning nonetheless that you will be meeting many people along the way as you're opening up to be more of yourself, as you're getting more assertive with who you truly are and being less apologetic, honestly, about just being alive. You get to align with people who love you too. You get to align people who are also passionate about this thing. So there is just a lot of passion, a lot of fiery energy. There could definitely be some new strong relationships with new career, with new colleagues, with new business business partners. There you go. Whatever relevant within the context of like however your career is unfolding. I mean, but even outside of career, it's like this process of just you re-owning who you are and just being unapologetic about who you are. That's not just about your career. That's about you. So in the sector of your relationships, even in romance, because that's definitely one of the themes of the Lovers card. Even in romance, you'll definitely be meeting new people if that's something you're looking for, if that's something you're open to. Many new people who are reflecting this new updated version of yourself, almost. But again, I want to make it clear that it's not just you updating yourself so as to be a better person. That's not the point here. It's very much about you letting go of other people's noise and doubts so as to allow yourself to be more of yourself. There isn't this idea of just like you need to be better. No, you're perfect just like you are. You're just surrendering and allowing yourself to be more of you, allowing yourself to see more effortlessly, more clearly how much perfection you already are. And that is beautiful. That is very profound too. And the Six of Wands is just getting this like such a beautiful energy. Honestly, it's the card of success. Straight up. We start by locking in onto a desire, onto a goal. We really make the commitment that even if we don't know how, it will happen because we so decide. We stay consistent with it. We exert our masculine traits, no matter our gender, by the way. I'm never gonna be able to say this enough. Our masculine traits, the regularity, the will, the I don't have the words, like, yeah, just the consistency. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Like, just going for it. And along the way, we get to discover ourselves much more. We get to fall in love with ourselves. We get to be much more passionate about life as a whole, and eventually reach success. What is success? And that is like, this card is giving me two things. First of all, success in the material. We got the freaking King of Pentacles again. Success in the material, it means the ka-ching. If that's one thing, if that is not necessarily one thing that you're necessarily all that attached to, that's for you to just know that, no, what you're doing will be profitable. If that is something that you're actively looking for, just you know that this is something which will be more than profitable. So it's like, I'm hearing the money issues, if they have ever been, there will be an old story for you. It's like, you're good. Like the King of Pentacles, they're good. It doesn't get better than this when it comes to the comfort in the material. So that's one thing, just getting to a very comfortable place materially, not exclusively because, but all quite obviously because of money. So that's one thing. But another thing is, like, it's not just a success, an astounding success in the material, it's also an astounding success when it comes to you, something that only the people closest to you will get to understand. I feel you have made one of your dreams a reality, as big as it felt to the people around you, as out of the blue it looked for some, even if there was so many doubts and potentially even resistance around you, you freaking made it happen. And that is just like an unshakable core foundation for confidence. Confidence radiating from within. It's like, this is not just a success that people around you can measure in terms of how much bling bling you're making. That's one thing. That's a very enjoyable thing. But it's like the biggest victory is the one that you get to feel within, who you have become along the way, how powerful you get to actually feel and realize that you are, and just how good you feel about yourself, straight up. So that is just so beautiful. I'm going to bring, like, I feel like we don't need it, but just one oracle card. Sing your own song. Yeah, I think that's pretty darn good closure to the reading. Sing your own song. It's like, your success is found in authenticity. That is a good rule of thumb for every single freaking one on this planet. Authenticity is the most powerful energy there will ever be in this world, no matter what, no matter who, no matter what you may be thinking. Authenticity, that is, whatever is the most true to you, will always be the most profitable, if we just keep in the context of career. And that's really what I'm getting here. It's like, you locking onto one of your dreams and going for it and becoming more and more of yourself. That's what we've been talking all throughout the reading. Sing your own song. Be yourself. Just be yourself. I feel that this will make much more sense as things start unfolding for you. But yeah, it's just the journey of you getting to sit in your own throne, wearing your crown, and just being you. That is so beautiful. I'm so happy. Thank you so much, for pile number 2, for your presence here. That was a lovely reading. It was a blast to make this reading such an interesting reading too. So yeah, very, very beautiful. Please let me know down in the comments how it went. Did it resonate? What is it all about? I'd love to be connecting with you. Also, while you're at it, please like the video and subscribe. That would support me a lot. And that is one of my dreams, by the way. But yeah, I'm just so glad for you. Enjoy the ride, honestly, that's all I gotta say. Enjoy the ride. I'm gonna be seeing you in my next video. Till then, have fun. Bye. Hey, pile number 3, how are you doing? Welcome to the reading. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having a good day. Pile number 3, if you chose the red Jasper, that's gonna be your reading. And so we're gonna get right into it now. So, bringing out the big guns, aka the Terror. Pile number 3, what is it that we can be looking forward? What is it you can be looking forward, please, Spirit, when it comes to your career? But I like some good news, good unexpected news, perhaps. Lots of decisions today, eh? Got the 2 of Swords, 7 of Swords. Please, Spirit, tell us what they say we can be looking forward. Some blessings, some good news. Okay. So far we got the 2 of Swords, the 7 of Swords, the 6 of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups. Whoop. Took one more. We got the 4 of Pentacles, the Hanged Man. And we got this one, which is, drumroll, the World. Okay. There have been some hardships, from what I can tell. It's not always been a very peaceful ride. We're gonna start by, okay, I'm not tuning into the whole story just yet. We're gonna start slowly. Well, we have, I'm gonna leave the first card for later, actually. I feel like it's a fun one. 7 of Swords. There, it's the idea of dealing with people who are being a little shady. You know, I mean, if you're here on number 3, I kinda feel like you already know who I'm talking about in your life. People who haven't been honest, people who haven't been genuine, people who enjoy bringing people down so as to feel a little slightly better about themselves, even if temporarily. People who make the choice on the daily to just live in the dark. We do not judge, but it can be draining when we get to be around these people for extended periods of time, definitely. And it feels like you're getting out of a bit of an unpleasant situation. I just feel like you've been in a bit of a dark place for a while, and it's not bad in the slightest. It just makes me feel like you've been learning so freaking much. You've been learning so much about yourself, so much about the world. You've been perfecting your craft. I'm hearing you've been ascending. You have been reminded of your power. You have been re-owning your biggest blessings, your biggest gifts. You have been growing more and more confident about yourself and within your capabilities. You have been just growing a lot. It just so happens that this tremendous, beautiful, exceptional amount of growth has been facilitated by a not so fun environment, from what I can tell, which is okay. You know, like, growth does happen through contrast. So, but I can tell it's like we're getting ready here, pile number 3, to just, I mean, get away from these people and these environments. It's like it's not serving us anymore. It's like, yeah, an environment where we are around people that just make the choice to be vibrating low day after day, and just make the choice of, instead of owning this and just growing, they just make the choice to spread it, to project it onto other people, spread the pain so as to hopefully make themselves feel a little better. Although it doesn't really work, that's why they come back to it every single day. 4 of Pentacles deals with scarcity, and I'm hearing in this context is especially related because of the people. Again, it's like Jenny feels that the issue that you've been dealing with, which again, it really depends on perspective, because you cannot read, I mean, you call an issue whatever you call it, whatever you want to call it, because at the end of the day, it benefited you in many, many ways, but it wasn't so fun. It's like Here's the scarcity mindset, feeling like there isn't enough, possibly because you were around people and had to deal with people who were not willing to build healthy relationships, who were not willing to build something with you. And so yeah, I'm just getting these very dissonant frequencies. It's like just being around people with whom you cannot build what you want. And that sucks, I'm not gonna lie. it's it's not fun. It's not a fun experience at all. But yeah, it's like there's the feeling of having to deal with people's hatred, having to deal with scarcity mindsets, having to deal with fear. Although most of it is not ours. It's like, yeah, if you feel like sometimes you get yourself experiencing these same emotions, that's completely understandable, you know. It's like eventually the environment kind of, I mean, you know this, that the environment and the people we're around, it does impact us. And I feel that for a while you've been in a quite low vibrational environment and around quite low vibrational people. And again, it's like it has taught you so much. And now you're just getting to the point where it's like, okay, we get out in the world now. We get out. Which is beautiful. But the way we get out is the most interesting thing, especially when it comes to, yeah, within the context of a career, it's like, there's a big shift. For those of you who will come here, like, what's up when it comes to this situation ship that you find yourself into? That's coming to an end. The reason being it doesn't serve you no more because you have learned your lessons, so to speak. It's like you have grown, you have re-owned your desires, you have re-owned your worth, you've made the work. And quote unquote, sadly, it was because of people not being so kind, but it's like in this way it has served you. It serves you no more. Here we are faced with a decision, which feels a hard decision to make, but is it that hard? It's like today, these three, like your group number 3, it's like the 2 previous groups were dealing with some similar situations. Like the idea of making a choice, it has come through all the groups, so I feel like it's a bit of a collective thing going on here, but there's a choice to be made here, as in, it's like, obviously, I feel like you find yourself to be in a situation which is unsustainable. The majority of the problems being because of the people that make up your environment right now. And there's a choice to be made, which is either you go with the fear, you go with the collective mess, you go with the fear and the darkness, which is being held and embodied by these people around, or you just depart your way. And it feels, the 2 swords generally indicate, yeah, it's a choice, but it's it feels like a bit of a blindfolded choice, because I feel that there's genuine confusion in this choice. Although the decision ultimately is very obvious, there's a lot of confusion because of the environment we're in. It's like, it's so dark that we do not see. We do not see what's up, you know? So it's like, sure, it has served you tremendously. Sure, the situation has really benefited you in ways that will probably become more and more obvious as time goes on, because right now you may still be, from what I can tell, it may still be bugging you. But it's like when this decision comes, it feels like a shot in the dark, honestly. That's why it feels scary, and it feels like we're blindfolded. It's like our heart and our mind are disagreeing here. Our mind is telling us, as much as I don't like it, please follow along with the fear and what the fear is telling you to do, because this is what makes me feel the safest. And the heart, on the other hand, is saying in a much quieter voice, a voice that we sometimes do not get to hear, you know, that's a terrible idea. You know, this is a terrible idea. Carrying on with the collective mess and with the hopping on these low frequencies which have been held by the people around is a terrible idea, and you know that. I mean, you can just look at their lives and how much you do not envy theirs. So it's like ultimately the decision is obvious, but it feels like we're blindfolded because of the environment we find ourselves in. And so Spirit is really coming through saying, please, first of all, you know that you need to know that this is not difficult. It feels this way because of the circumstances you find yourself into, the context. But please trust that the answer is obtainable much more easily than what your fear would otherwise pretend. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Secondly, please take some time for yourself to meditate, quote unquote, meditate. By meditate, I mean whatever makes you feel like you are centered. It may be literally the act of meditating for some. For others, it may simply mean, I don't know, holding your favorite plant, hugging your cat, whatever helps you come back to your body, being present, bringing yourself in a state of clarity where you can ponder about this decision without looking at it from the perspective of fear. Okay? Making whatever feels best to you so as to bring your perspective out of this chaotic environment you find yourself in. And when you do that, the right course of action will appear very obvious. But again, it's like, it's okay if it feels a bit of a mess. Spirit wouldn't be expecting you to be like doing it so easily and like, oh my god, that's so easy, because yeah, you're going through a bit of a chaotic environment, so it's normal if it feels this way. That's what I'm getting at. Please don't be mad at yourself for that. If the answer feels sometimes a little out of reach, that's okay. The universe wouldn't expect you to have it all figured out in a second within the context you find yourself in right now. That being said, the rest of the reading describes once you make the right choice, which we all know here is the heart one. The choice which is taken by the heart, the choice which is taken by following the intuition, the choice which is the one taken by your higher self, communicated to you through your intuition, through your heart, blah, 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 you already know. The right choice for you, basically. And what we have here is 8 of Cups. I kind of like this card. It just looks silly. It's like, it's a newborn octopus just going on adventure, because as intelligent and smart octopuses may be, octopi, I don't know, it's like they are known to be extremely intelligent creatures. How come they haven't taken over the world? Because the kiddos are not parented in this species. Some of these species, they just die. They just like, I don't know what's the word. It's like they take care of the eggs until they die. They stop eating so as to be present with the eggs, just like a hen would sit on the eggs waiting for them to open, right? It's like some species of, for some species, the octopi will just sit on the eggs until they hatch, but in doing so, they end up dying. Some others, they just abandon the eggs. That's just a thing in their species, But the whole thing is, they're extremely smart. They have an immense potential. Anyone who has seen videos or just studied or just observed these tiny little creatures, which are not always also tiny, now I'm like picturing some of them, know that they are formidable creatures. But they start their life not knowing, because it's an entire world to explore. It's like it's up to them to do whatever they want out of this life, because it's like they're not parented. It's normal in this species, sure. They have many talents that they do not know of yet, that they're yet to discover. They have many places to discover. The 8 of Cups in Tarot represents the energy of like moving onto an adventure so as to discover more of ourselves. Like setting ourselves onto an adventure so as to finding home, It's like the idea that we got an octopus is very I like the idea, the representation of the card, but it's very much this idea of all of this metaphor is because the choice of the heart is the most uncertain one. That's why it feels so chaotic. That's why it feels like we're taking a shot in the dark, because the choice of the mind, which is the fear-based one, this one we know exactly how it's going to act out. We know we will not enjoy it, but we know that it will kind of meet our needs, kind of, not completely, but kind of keep us safe. This we know. The calling of the heart, the calling of the higher mind, the calling of God, of the universe, whatever you call it, source, all that is, whatever, is we do not see it. It's like it's uncertain. It's a whole new adventure. And what I'm hearing is these four cards, like the Hanged Man, the World, the Six of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups, is just indicating such a beautiful adventure. Like you deciding, you know what, I'm done. We're moving on. I'm taking this decision, which is heart-based, which is up for you to like accept, for you to just observe in whatever state helps you like be in clarity. When I was talking about meditation, is like taking the time to see that you will set this decision is like, it sounds like a plan that your heart tells you it's the right thing to do, but your mind is like, that's not a plan, that's just a dream, it freaks me out. What we have here is a whole new journey that the mind cannot comprehend. That's why the mind is rightfully freaking out. It's you setting up onto a whole new journey that you have never explored before, that perhaps very few people have before, but one which is true to you, one along which you will meet a lot of people, which you will be very supported and protected and guided through, because I'm hearing that this is already decided. It's like the universe, your higher self already know what you're meant for. It is already known what you need. It is already known what you desire. So it's like the path is already cleared ahead, although you do not see it. But yeah, you will be supported, you will be protected, you will be guided, you will be abundant and successful, no doubts about that. It's just unseen and unknown. So there is this kind of excitement, as in the promises, it's going to be a blast, it's going to be awesome, it's well worth the ride, especially when you consider the awful alternative. But it's exciting because it's unknown. We do not know just yet. But yeah, I'm also hearing like meeting lots of new people, lots of strangers, lots of new friendships, lots of new connections. So it's beautiful. Discovering much more about ourselves, starting to create a life, embarking on a new adventure so as to create a life that feels like home, that feels like us, something that feels genuine, that feels authentic. And the most beautiful thing is like the two last cards of the spread, the Hanged Man and the World. I love these cards. The Hanged Man talks about here like surrenderedness. It's like you cannot possibly imagine right now, especially since your mind is so heavily influenced by the outer chaos right now. It's okay, your mind is doing its best, but it can't deal with that much. So it's okay for your mind not to see it, not to know. And Spirit just saying here, even if you were in a calm state, your mind anyways wouldn't be able to imagine how the heck is going to happen. That's why it's like a huge component of it is just surrendering. Knowing that if your heart is calling you in this direction, if the universe is calling you in this direction, it's because the path is already clear. Your higher self has already cleared the path. You just need to surrender to it because of the fact that you have never walked it, you have never seen it. You couldn't possibly start imagining what it's going to look like. So it's just knowing, trusting, having faith, whatever, in your path ahead. This is where you're being called to go, so this is where you're meant to go. Just trust that it's gonna work out. That's what I'm hearing. With the Hanged Man, it's very much like also you surrendering more and more and more as you go along, learning so much more about life. I'm hearing spiritual awakenings, understanding so much more about life, so much more about energetics, so much more about yourself. And just, yeah, surrendering more and more and more, and just letting yourself be carried by the current of the river. Instead of trying to swimming upstream, the mind would want to swim upstream because as difficult as it is, it's kind of used to it. Yes, it sucks, it's tiring, it's awful, it's everything you want, but it's familiar still. Whereas letting ourselves being carried downstream, well, we do not know where the heck this river is gonna take us. That's one thing. but it is easy, it is effortless. That's the state of surrenderedness. And that's what's coming through with the Hanged Man. It's like opening up for something that we do not fully understand, we do not fully comprehend, but somehow it feels right, it feels good, and it feels so much easier. And the World card is just like, here, it feels like completion to me. It's like the completion of a big chapter of our life and a revolution of a profound inner standing of ourselves, a revolution of who we are, like surrendering to who we are and just opening up to who we are, living a life which we have created, because it reflects us. It's an us life. It's not the life of someone else. It's not us struggling against the current of the stream so as to try to cope with the world and the chaos and just trying to live because other people said that this was the right thing to do. No, we're doing it our way. It's just such a profound sense of completion and harmony also. It just feels so good. But yeah, that's really what's coming through. I'm gonna pick up like one oracle card. But what I'm getting is a very exciting new beginning, new journey that will unfold in ways you cannot even comprehend today, but which will be worthwhile. Watch and wait. We got like magic works through you. It's like you don't expect it to make sense. There is still, I can tell that there's resistance when I'm bringing up the energy of the Hanged Man, of the surrenderedness. There is resistance in this reading with the collective of pile number 3. There's this energy of, I don't believe that thing's gonna work out for me. It's like there's this doubt because, again, like we're still dealing with this chaos where I feel like most of you pile number 3 are still in this situation right now. So rightfully the mind is like, I like the idea. The heart already knows it's true. I've been feeling this calling and this invitation for quite a while, so the heart knows it's true. That's why it resonates. That's why it feels good. But the mind is not on board with it just yet. What I'm hearing is definitely like, watch and wait. It's, you know what decision you need to be making. Be brave and do it. Just go for it. You will see. At this point, I'm like, Spirit is saying it doesn't serve us for you to believe in your good fortune at this moment. Just walk the path and you'll see it yourself. That's what I'm hearing. So that is a very, very interesting, very powerful reading, I can tell. Thank you so much, file number 3, for having been here with me today. That was a very interesting reading. They're very profound too. So yeah, please let me know down in the comments if it resonated. What's this big decision that you're considering? I'd love to know about that. And yeah, I'd love to be connecting with you. I'm sending you lots of love, especially as you are coming out of this situation. I'm so happy for you because you deserve it. But again, lots of love because some of you are still dealing with that at this moment. So yeah, I wish you all my best. I'm gonna be seeing you in my next video. Till then, take care and prepare yourself to receive it all. Bye. Hey, pal number 4, how you doing? Welcome to the reading. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing great. Hope you're feeling fantastic. If pal number 4, if you chose the Lapis Lazuli, that's gonna be your reading, and so we're gonna get right into it now. We're gonna begin with the OG Tarot, so as to answer the question, what are cool things, fun things, unexpected blessings that we can be looking forward when it comes to your career? Got the Hermit to start off. Okay. What else, spirits? So I'm just going through. Okay. 7 of... Got the Hermit card, we got the 7 of Swords. Yep, got the 5 swords. Please, Spirit, this one wanted to come through. We have the Death card. That's a deep one. Got the 2 of Wands. My oh my, pile number 4, you are my sensitives. Back of the deck energy, Ace of Cups, a new beginning, one which is very emotionally fulfilling. Okay. So what's the context, Spirit, to this one? It screams out like someone who's gotten to know themselves a lot, someone who's been working a lot, someone, I'm just like getting this idea of someone who's very sensitive, your typical empath, hypersensitive, who has been healing a lot in the past, has been learning a lot actually about themselves, about the world, about people, and somehow that's relevant to career. Okay, yeah, it's like, we're gonna start here. The Hermit card is indicating me that you have been exploring what's going on within for quite a while. That's why I'm getting also this idea of someone who's very sensitive, because it's like the kind of people who find it hard to ignore when their system is indicating them something, and who have grown very not only used but eager to explore whenever their body is bringing some new information, indicating something new. So it's like there's this idea of someone who's very interested, invested in what's going on within, so as to better understand themselves and the world. And this gives you, I'm also getting, like, with the Hermit card, is like, I'm getting big third eye energy, which is very fun since we got the Lapis Lazuli, which deals very much with that. It's like a big third eye because you are arguably very well aware of yourself, perhaps compared to others. It's like, I can tell that the more you get to know yourself and the more you realize how you know absolutely fluff all about yourself. That's the wonders of life. But although you feel like you do not know anything about yourself yet, you arguably know, you are aware of a lot, especially compared to other people who may not be so invested in that kind of path, which is totally fine. But there's this idea that you see. It's like you got the gift of seeing. You see through people's masks, you see people's truths. It's like you feel people's energies, and we all know energy doesn't lie. The only thing that can lie within us is the mind, the mental, the thoughts. This can be illusionary, this can be lies. Energies never lie. And there's this idea of just like, yeah, you see through, you see the truth. There's nothing that can really be hidden from you, because of the fact that you know yourself so well. Understanding that this so well is like to be, as like, is relative, okay? Within this context, it's like, here we are all aware here that knowing yourself so well sounds a little funny when you are on the path of, like, a spiritual path of self-discovery, whatever you want to describe it. Because the more you get to discover about yourself, the more you realize that there's so much that it'll never end. But again, it's like, within the context of our society, you know much, arguably. May it only be by comparison. The 7 and the 5 of Swords indicate me that you have been in the past dealing with a lot of darkness, a lot of contrast, a lot of things. Okay, I just got to download. I see where we're going with that one now. It was a little blurry at the start. It's like you've been dealing with, you have seen, I'm hearing like you've seen it all when it comes to how people can be expressing the misery that they get to feel. It's like, sure, there may be a lot of darkness in the world. There isn't only darkness, but people have a kind of somehow liking to be spreading the dark. And you're very well aware of that, from what I can tell. It's like there's a lot of energies. You have found yourself around many people who would relate to the world in ways that you saw as harmful. It's like you know more than one thing about the downfalls of human psychology. You know more than one thing about how people can be a-holes with one another. And I'm getting the idea that you have, like, as we were opening the reading, saying that you've done a lot of work on yourself. It's like, okay, sure, but it's like you're very well aware of these things today because of the fact that you have completely detached from them. It's like you're very, very good at seeing through people and understanding them. In the good things and the bad things, you understand very well why people are inspired and happy and passionate and creative. You also understand why people behave in ways that are arguably harmful to themselves, to those around, in ways which are destructive, although they may not be aware of it. I'm kind of, it's like I'm getting the energy of the high priestess. I'm not gonna lie with this. It's like the one that sees, the one that knows, the intuitive, the one with the big third eye. But the fact we got the hermit instead just indicates me that it's not just something that you were only born with. It's like, yes, you arguably were born very sensitive. You have put in the work to discover it too, for one reason or another. It's like this figure is just giving me this idea that you may not. I'm getting so much information from this idea. Do you see? I have to turn on the phone to see if you can see it well. Do you see like the figure around? It's like a sun with the lines. It's funny because we got this figure which is arguably, I want to say, hiding, although that's not the intention. It's like this figure is not wanting to hide, but it's like it's clothed. You do not get to see the face of the figure. You do not get to see what's there because the hermit is traditionally much more interested in what's going on within, so it doesn't care about what's going on outside. But it's like from an outsider point of view, there's very much the energy I'm sensing you in. It's like you may not look very much in people's faces, and yet your energy shines so bright that no one is actually capable of missing you. The only people who seem not to care about your presence are the people who are very well sensing it and choosing to deny it because for one reason or another they're uncomfortable with it. It's like your energy shines hecking bright, let me tell you that, and is more than hard to miss. And somehow it's like it's such a fascinating and deep energy when people get to meet you. It's like at first it feels like hidden, and yet it's so much in your face. It's a very, very fascinating energy actually that you're putting off. But that is very much indicating me, it's like it's not a high priestess because there's a lot of energy when it comes to self-discovery. It's something that you have refined over the years through observing arguably what happened. But that's a bit of context to who you are and what's going on right now with you, I can tell. Within the context of your career, somehow the death card, there's been a major transformation lately happening. I'm feeling that this is something, for most of it has happened, something that already happened. But yeah, the death card refers to letting go of something that no longer serves us so as to make room for new growth. You know, it's like if we want in a tall forest, if we want new plants to be able to grow, we sometimes have to wait for an old tree to fall over so as to free up the canopies, so as to make it able for the sunlight to reach the ground so that new growth can have the light, see the light and grow. You know, it's like we gotta remove these old trees sometimes so as to make room for the new ones. What I'm getting at is like, yeah, there's been a transformation, there's been a huge releasing in your life, which has made place for a lot of growth. Or did it? It's like there's been a lot of releasing. I'm feeling like the growth maybe is starting to happen right now. Yeah, okay. It's more like this. It's like I feel that's interesting because it's like what we had here for a context of who you are. I was wondering, is like, okay, sure, that's very interesting information, but what's the point? I mean, what's the link with the topic of the reading? It is actually related. It's like you are typically the kind of a person I'm hearing who's very sensitive and blah blah blah. Someone who's come in this life with a very clear mission. Someone who you may have heard. I'm hearing like some of you have been like cannot hear these ideas of starseed and indigo child and things anymore because of how often it pops up in your feed for whatever reason, although you may not believe in that at all. Is like, it's clear and obvious that you're gifted, it's clear and obvious that you're very sensitive, it's clear and obvious that you're here for a freaking good reason, but somehow you've been living your life up to this point like wanting to live in the traditional manner, so to speak, like just taking a classic 9 to 5 and things, doing things the traditional way, although it feels very obvious that it's not a right fit for you at all. It's like you're way too big for this kind of lifestyle. It's like this traditional kind of lifestyle cannot possibly continue. This is not adapted in the slightest. And it also feels like it's kind of painful because this traditional kind of lifestyle doesn't allow you to fully express yourself, to fully express your mission, so to speak. It's like it feels unfulfilling. So that's why it feels like there's been death. There's been a lot of releasing, a lot of things coming to an end, a lot of things not working anymore. And we are now left in a space where it's like, okay, well, a lot of things went away, all these old trees died, we're left with a lot of space. What now, though? And that's the interesting thing now. What now? That's the most important part. What now? Now you realize who you are and the fact that who you have grown. I feel like all of these things you have been, this story of your ascension, of you discovering more of who you are and your gifts and your radiance, arguably, you have been taking that more on a personal kind of level. This is more like something that you kept by yourself because there was something that you found very interesting for one reason or another, but it's not something that ever permeated the field of career so far. I can feel that's changing. It's like you are meant to be a leader. You are meant to be leading the masses towards the higher frequencies. You are meant to be teaching the world. You are meant to be healing. There are a lot of, I'm sensing a lot of archetypes of the light worker here, and it will express itself for each one of you, my pound number 4s, in different ways. But I'm getting, I'm feeling like I'm gonna sneeze. Not just now. Okay. It's like now it's time to take everything, all of these things that you've been working on so hard, arguably, in your personal life, and to put it out. It's like, you're meant to be leading people. You're meant to be showing the world. You're meant to be blessing this world with your radiance, with your light. You're not meant to just keep it in your private sphere. There is this energy of leading, this energy of impacting on people's energies, because it's like, it seems very obvious that one of your biggest superpowers in this lifetime is your energetic magnetism and how you powerfully entrain people's energies to match your own. It's like all you have to do basically is to put yourself out there and let your energy bring people up. It feels quite simple when it's in this way, honestly, but it's like, that's very much this thing. It's like, okay, you've done all of this and that is beautiful and there's a reason why you've been doing this. Now it's time to bless this world with all of your gifts. So yeah, that's the thing. There's been a lot of space cleared up, and now we're left with that. Oh my god, I cannot make this up. It's like 2 of wands. Every single group, I believe, perhaps except pile number 2, has had a choice. It's like we're dealing with you being at a crossroad, you having to make a choice. Every single freaking group has this energy. It's very much something in the collective. Pile number 1, was like, yeah, it feels a bit of a theme today. Pile number 2, I was like, yeah, it feels a bit of a collective. Pile number 3, oh, that's funny, we had this message again. Pile number 4, well, it's definitely something in the collective, is it not? Collective for the energy workers, for those who are opening up to like assisting, I guess, this world in its ascension, there is a there's a choice to be made. The fact we got the Two of Wands specifically makes so much sense with what we've said before. It's choosing to, it's like very visually talking. You got a planet with so many bees. Wait, I'm gonna turn on the phone. Yeah, you can see it well. You got so many bees around the planet, and there's one, arguably it's crowded, there's one that decides to explore a new unknown planet. And look at how much space there is. It's literally what I was saying. It's like you just giving up on a 9 to 5. It could not be literal. Don't get me literally if that's not what, if that it's not resonating with your current situation. But it's very much this idea of making the choice to do things your way, making the choice of taking your career from a whole new angle in a way that not only feels best, aligns with who you are, but also completely opens the doors to allow your fullest expression, so as to bless this world with your light. That's what I'm hearing, and it's a choice to be made. It's like, are you willing to do what feels good? Because arguably it's intimidating. Okay, arguably it's like, I'm not gonna lie, it's like you will be in the public eye. If that's, I'm 100% convinced that the wide majority of your panel before already know that. That may not be your case currently, but you've already had this kind of message before. You are meant to be a leader, you are meant to be in the public eye, blah, blah, blah. You're meant to be on stage for some of you. It's like, these are things you've already heard many, many times, although it may not be the case in your physical life at the moment. It's like, yes, arguably it's a bit of an intimidating lifestyle, sure, but this is what is the most exciting to your soul. This is what you came here to do. It's like, are you ready? Are you ready to embark on that, to fully commit to it? That's what I'm hearing. That's a very exciting choice, one with there's a bit of intimidation. It's like, oh my god, feels big. Are you ready to commit to it? Because there's space, you've done the work. It's like, now it's just a matter of, are you ready? If the answer is yes, then starting tomorrow you're on it. Starting tomorrow you're on your new timeline, arguably. The Six of Cups and the Justice card, I kind of like that. It's Six of Cups is honoring your truth. Six of Cups to me screams out inner child, but in this context, talking about inner child doesn't feel appropriate. It's more like honoring who you set out to be when you came on this world. Being your most badass, your most authentic self. Blessing this world with your magical, unique medicine. Living a life, especially through the angle of your career, because it seems to be very relevant here, not only being the theme of the reading, that fully honors who the heck you are and are meant to be. And the Six of Cups comes also with this sweet sense of fulfillment and completion. It's like, it feels home, it feels natural, it feels good. It's like, of course it feels natural. That's you. That's who you're meant to be. The more you surrender to it, the more it feels natural, because the more you are allowing yourself to be you. And this Justice card, it just kind of, I feel like it wraps up the energy we opened the reading with, as in, you have been learning a lot, you've been going through many challenges and tribulations, you've been around many people you wish you hadn't met, and it's like, at the end of the day, now you know why it happened, why it went this way, why it had to go this way, even if it felt dark, even if some of you may have gone through the dark nights of the soul, you know it. It's like, now it makes sense so as to why it happened, why it needed to happen, why it's here for. It all makes sense, and the Justice card just makes me feel like, yeah, we're wrapping it up. It's like, now you have all the answers, now it all makes sense. And it feels also very powerful, like I'm seeing the sword, like just the idea of the Justice with the scales, the sword. It feels fair after all. On one end, it feels just fair after all you've gone through, that you get to experience a life, that a career that fully aligns and fully supports your mission, who you are. It's just fair. And second of all, it also feels extremely powerful. It's a very powerful position that you're opening yourself up for, where you get to bless this world with your gifts, and it's like it's something so needed at this point. And it's just a career that revolves around you. It feels so natural. So that is beautiful. Another thing I'm seeing is like the fact that our three major arcanas here all see their faces being veiled. I'm quite getting this idea that you are unveiling your true self through this process. It's like you're showing finally to the world your true colors, which is exciting. You might be surprised by how many people fall in love with your true colors. Our two last cards, lay a solid foundation to always be enough. I just feel that this new thing, this new chapter that you're opening up to, I feel like this is not, it's something that you've been thinking about for a while. It's like, it's just a matter of you fully committing to it. It's not necessarily all that much of a choice. At the end of the day, it will always be a choice, yes, sure. But it kind of feels more like something that it's more a question of you committing to it, really. Like, are you ready to stop being distracted and fully go with it and saying, no, I stop being like, it feels like you were a little bit like one foot in, one foot out. It's like, yes, I know I have got this, but maybe there's this too, maybe I got that. I'm not going to exclude these other options. It's like it's taking up space in your mind, in your field. Are you ready to fully commit and go with it? You know, that's kind of the energy I'm getting here. With the beautiful cute beaver and the koi fish, this energy of this new path is gonna support you and bring so much abundance your way. It's like you're gonna be blown away. You're gonna be blown away by how comfortable your life gets. Because yes, when you are blessing the world with so much beauty, when you're elevating arguably our whole species, you're elevating the whole vibration of this world, trust me, Mother Earth will be more than happy to be assisting you, to be supporting you, to be showing you her love, and to be supporting you in your mission, which is benefiting so many. Like, it's just fair, you know? You're doing so much good, you deserve to be treated and receiving good. That's all. There's not else to succeed. Oh, I don't feel if I deserve it. I don't care whether you feel you deserve it or not. You got this. That's all. You're doing good. You shall receive good. That's it. Whether you like it or not. So that's what I'm feeling. Is like there's never gonna be a problem of you'll always be supported in many ways, not only financially. Financially being a big part of it, but not only. You're gonna have the right people, you're gonna have the right opportunities, synchronicities will abound. It's like you're good, you're taken care of, honestly, you're protected. This timeline, this path is blessed. It's just a matter of you owning the fluff out of who you are and committing to who you're meant to be. I'm so excited. Oh my god. Thank you so much, pal number 4, for having shared space with me today. That was a deep and quite intense reading, honestly. Such a profound and interesting, though. Such a profound and interesting one. Thank you so much. Please let me know down in the comments how it went for you, if it resonated. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to connect with you, honestly. While you're at it, please like the video and subscribe. It would support me a lot. And yeah, that being said, honestly, kudos to you. Congratulations. I'm so eager to see where you're going to bring this. I hope to see you on stage if it ends up happening. And yeah, I'm going to be seeing you in my next video. Till then, take care of yourself, and I wish you all the best. Bye.